all the time tremendously. Had little to no energy. And I was severely depressed. So I'm going to kind of share my story, what happened, what took place. What did I change to now be down 85 pounds? And 99% of my knee pains are gone. My energy level is off the Richter scale. And just going to kick it with y'all for a little bit here. Nancy, good to see you. If you just joined in, go ahead, drop in the comments what city, what state, what country you're representing. That way I can give you a proper shout out. And I'm going to go here and go through the details of what took place for me to be down 85 pounds now and feeling absolutely incredible. So if you are struggling to lose weight or someone you know, hit that share button and share this with them. I'm going to get started here in about 2 minutes. Welcome on. Let me turn this down a little bit here. There we go. Garden Globe, good to see you. Puerto Rico in the house. Dallas, Texas. Maryland in the house. Miller, good to see you. London, what's up, London? You guys getting ready to go to bed over there in London. Glenn, good to see you. Appreciate the hearts. Thank you for the share. All right, everybody, I'm going to get started here in about 1 minute. If you haven't done so, hit that share button and share this with someone that might be struggling to control their cholesterol, their blood pressure, their blood sugar level, struggling to get their weight under control. I'm going to share with you exactly what I've done, the tools I've been using, and the strategies that I've implemented. Cover some of the foods that I eat and don't eat. Cleveland in the house, good to see you, Cleveland. Waco, Texas, good to see you. Ohio representing, welcome on, Ohio. I'm going to get started here in about 30 seconds. If you haven't done so yet, go ahead, drop in the comments what city, what state, what country representing. That way I can give you a proper shout out before I get started here in about 20 seconds. Kathleen, good to see you. Maryland in the house. Melinda, welcome on. Dana, good to see you. PA in the house, good to see you. PA, welcome. All right, I'm going to get started here in about 5 seconds. I'm going to be covering the tools I've been using, the strategies that I've incorporated. I am in the Sunshine State, Robin, good old Florida, in the Sunshine State, in the good old US of A. Welcome, everybody. So I'm going to be sharing with y'all the strategy that I've used to go from this, where I was close to 500 pounds. My knees was hurting all the time. I had little to no energy. And I was severely depressed. And I tried so many different things. I tried keto. I tried killing myself in the gym. I tried counting calories. And none of them worked for me until I discovered it wasn't just me. That currently 90% of the population are metabolically unhealthy. That means 9 out of 10 people right now are dealing with things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugar level, have extra unwanted fat on your body. So that was the first thing I had to realize. So if right now maybe you got some extra weight on you, your blood pressure high, your cholesterol a little bit high, your blood sugar high, you have to realize it's not just you. You're not the problem. There is a major problem in the world that is just not being discussed. And that problem is something called insulin resistance. I've shared a few videos explaining insulin resistance. You can go through some of my videos and look at them. But you got to understand what insulin resistance is, what causes insulin resistance, and how to reverse it. Now, if you're familiar with insulin resistance, put a yes in the comment. If you're not, put a no. So if you're familiar with insulin resistance, put a yes in the comment. If you're not, put a no. Okay, Robin. Robin says yes. Rhonda says yes. No. Kathy says no. Okay. So I'm going to just give you a quick highlight. But you can go through some of the videos on my page or do research on your own. So insulin is one of the major hormones in your body. When you sugar level increase, you ate food that breaks down to glucose and that increases. insulin responds to bring that glucose level back down. So your insulin goes up. Okay? But there's a natural resting state of your insulin level. Well, over time, of this insulin keep responding over and over and over to bring your glucose back down, the insulin says, well, this natural resting spot is not the normal pace, so we need to bring it up a little bit higher. So now you have a new normal for your insulin level. And then it gets to a point where your cells now just are just resistance to insulin. And this process happens over time, but the doctors don't test you to see if your insulin level is higher than where it's supposed to normally be. But there's some signs that you can look at on your body. And when I hit the signs that I was dealing with, I'm going to raise my hand. If I hit some signs that you're dealing with, put me in the comment. So here's one that I was dealing with. Constantly hungry. That was me all the time. At this size, close to 500 pounds, I was constantly hungry. Literally, I could finish eating a meal, and 5 minutes later, I'm rumbling through the cabinets looking for something else. I was constantly hungry. That is a sign of insulin resistance. If you have cravings for sugary foods or salty foods, I see a couple of me coming in. Here, I had crazy cravings for sugary foods. Some people it's salty. But if you have cravings for sugary foods or salty foods, you're dealing with insulin resistance. I had cravings for sugary foods. If you have high cholesterol, high blood sugar level, high blood pressure, these are signs of insulin resistance. Skin tags, they'll come around your neck, sometime around your eyes. You'll see them underneath your arms or maybe in between the thighs of your leg. Skin tags are a sign of insulin resistance. You get that dark circle around your neck, you try to wash it, you try to scrub it off, you can't get rid of that dark circle around your neck. That is a sign of insulin resistance. Now, here's one that was me big time. If you get tired after eating a meal, that's a sign of insulin resistance. I remember I used to brag and say to people, like, man, that meal was so good, I've got to go take a nap. If you got to take a nap after a meal, that's a sign of insulin resistance. So now you know the signs to look for on yourself. So start to identify those. Because if you're sitting here trying to kill yourself in the gym and you're trying starvation programs and keto and you're still having cravings for sugary foods, you're still, after you finish eating, you're still hungry, this process that you're dealing with insulin resistance, how long does it take for insulin to change? It depends on how long a person have been dealing with this. Now, granted, if you've been insulin resistant for 20 years, you're not going to become uninsulin resistant in like 10 days. It is a process, and it's certain things you're going to incorporate in your life to help reverse that process. But first, you got to know what caused it. What do y'all think caused insulin resistance to be involved in so many people in our population today? Put in the comment, what do you think is the major cause behind so many people experiencing insulin resistance, which eventually leads to pre-diabetic and eventually leads to diabetic? But fast food. Yep, boom, exactly. Right on the money. Fast food. Major one. What else do y'all think? Diet, of course, it's all diet. Stress, yes, stress is another. A lot of people don't know that stress is a leading factor too for insulin resistance. Processed foods, absolutely, 100%. Sodas, absolutely. No fiber. There's a massive one right there. No fiber. Fly, that's the first one I saw. Put that in there because, yes, fast food, a lot of people know. The processed foods in the grocery store, a lot of people know. But what I didn't know was these manufacturers, they started processing a lot of our fruits and vegetables to make them bigger because they're sold by the pound. You know, if you look at the size of a potato 60 years ago, it wasn't this big, massive potato. They were like these little bitty potatoes that can fit in your hands. But you couldn't sell a lot of French fries with that. So they started making the potatoes bigger, made the carrots bigger, sweeter, juicier. They weighed more. But when they do that, they strip out a lot of the fiber to make them taste better. So just like the gentleman says, no fiber. So yes, you're getting these carrots, you're getting these potatoes, but they have way less fiber in them and little to no nutritional value. So all of this is driving up the insulin resistance. But the solution that I heard to lose weight, to get healthier, to control all my blood work was to exercise. Exercise is good for you. Was to count my calories, which is good. Do keto, it's good. Maybe go vegan, it's good. What are some of the things that you might have heard to lose weight or control your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your cholesterol? What are some of the things that you have heard so far? Put it in the comments for me. But those are the things that I've heard. And they're all good. Nothing wrong with them. The problem is they don't solve the root problem of insulin resistance. So you go through this yo-yo process. Hold back on the salt. Yep. No carbs. Oh, that no carbs was like, and I'm from Jamaica. I'm from the islands. And telling a person from the Caribbean island not to eat carbs, that's like telling them don't eat. Because literally every meal we eat, it comes with like plantains, bread, or rice. There's not a meal that we don't eat in the Caribbean that doesn't come with rice, bread, or carbohydrates. So what happened? Intermittent fasting is a good one. So these are great strategies, but they don't solve the root problem of insulin resistance. So what ended up happening, and what happened with me, you go through this yo-yo process. You get a little bit of results. That works for a little while. You can't maintain it because you're not dealing with the modern day food environment where you get no fiber, you get no vitamins, literally no minerals in there. So your body's yearning food again. So you control and use willpower for a while, and then you end up falling off. And you get frustrated at yourself like I was. I was frustrated. Like I would try something and my willpower would be good for like a month, and then I end up falling off. And you blame yourself. I know the feeling. You're guilty. You're mad at yourself because you couldn't stick to the program, but you're not solving the root problem. So I want to share with you what I did to solve the root problem of insulin resistance and how I can keep taking the weight off, control my cholesterol, my blood pressure, my blood sugar level, and still live in the real world. And I got started using these two tools along with time-based eating. Now, what I love about these tools is this. It is documented with science-based results. And I also incorporate intermittent fasting. If you're familiar with time-based eating, put a yes in the comment for me. Time-based eating. If you're not, I'm going to kind of explain what this is. Some people also call it intermittent fasting. If you're not familiar, there is a time period. Yes, you're familiar. Okay. So there's a time of the day that you have zero caloric intake, meaning you can drink water, you can drink your herbal teas, black coffee, and you can drink things like the Unamonte. That's in your fasting window. Now, if you've never fasted before, start with a minimum 12 hours. That means your last meal you ate was at 8 o'clock. Your first meal would be 8 a.m. the next day. Over time, you want to graduate up to fasting at least 16 hours. 16 hours is a key sweet spot to help you to reverse that insulin resistance, because after your first 12 hours, your body finally gets to finish process everything that was there. So now you have a 4-hour window where your body say, oh, let me flip that switch from burning carbs and glucose, and let me flip that switch over to burning fat. So from hour 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, your body is burning fat for energy, and that we want your body to do that. And in order to get your body to burn fat for energy, we got to get that insulin level down. And depending on what you ate the night before, did it have a lot of fiber? Some people it takes 4 hours. Some people it's going to take 8. Some people it's going to take 12, depending on what your last meal was. Yes, I familiar with it. Dry fasting, no water, 18 hours, no food. Oh yeah, dry fasting, that's a whole nother level there. If your weight goes up a little, does that mean you're gaining muscle? If you're working out and you're training in the gym, don't rely 100% on the weight on the scale. Make sure you're getting your body fat percentage and you're measuring yourself. So here's the thing. So time-based eating, I have a 16-hour window that I'm fasting. Now, intermittent fasting is great. But if you have ever tried to fast before, and especially your body's been addicted to carbohydrates and sugars and caffeine, the first couple of hours, you're going to experience these headaches like it's nobody's business. You get pain behind your eyes. You'll start to have withdrawal. Some people literally have the shakes because they're having withdrawals from caffeine and sugar. So to make fasting easy, you drink your Unamonte. So Unamonte, you mix this up in about 16 to 24 ounces of water. You can do it hot or you can do it cold. I like to do mine's hot. And you sip on this during your fasting period. So this is not something you're going to just guzzle down in 10 minutes. So if you're going to be fasting, so let's say your last meal was at 8 o'clock. And you woke up at 8 a.m. and you still got like 4 more hours left. You want to fast at 12 noon. So you'll go ahead and make this at 8 a.m. Put it in a cup, a little thermos if you're keeping it cold, or a bigger jar if you're keeping it hot. And then you sip on that over that 3-4 hour period that you're fasting. You sip on this. You can still drink water in between. But every time you think about food, take a sip of this right here. This makes fasting absolutely easy. I do not work out. You don't have to work out. Where can I order this? Let me put a link up here real quick, Tamika. And let me know if you can see this, Tamika. There we go. You see that link above my head, Tamika? If you see that, let me know. So I drink this in that 16-hour fasting window. You don't drink it down all of a sudden. You sip on it, which is very, very key. I want you to get results. So I want to make sure you're using the system. Yes, you can see. Okay, perfect to me. Yeah, so that's where you'll go. feelgreattools.com, and you can pick your country and you can order. So sip on this. You're currently 254. What's your goal weight that you want to get to? Or is it a certain size? So sip on this during that fasting window. So you wake up 7, 6 o'clock in the morning. Go ahead and make this. And you might sip on this till 12 noon. Don't say it's embarrassing. I was close to 500. Where's my picture at? That was on the other thing. I was close to 500 pounds. And that's why I'm doing this on TikTok. Because that's the thing that people, and I kind of make sure I'm kind of key with my words. When a person is 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 40 pounds overweight, it's cool. But when a person gets to like 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds overweight, the world starts to look at us a little bit different. Once you get over like 50 pounds overweight, people start judging you. I remember some of the biggest judgments I got was like when I went to a gym. Big guy walking into the gym, people would look at me like, what you doing in here? You gonna break the equipment? And, they would look at you crazy and they would make you feel bad. So I feel it when you say, you're embarrassed because the society make you feel embarrassed because, you're 100 pounds overweight. So that's why I do this on my TikTok for the people that say, hey, look, being 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 400 pounds overweight, don't be embarrassed if you're trying to change some things about that. That's what I'm talking about here. That's the person I'm passionate about helping, because that was me. 200 plus pounds overweight. I was 255, now I'm 120. I'm 222. Man, congratulations. That is awesome. Keep up the phenomenal work. Thank you. It was meant for me to run across this video. Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. One thing I don't like is that people are always using this for business. When you say using this for business, I don't get what you mean. But so that's the Unamonte. Now the thing about Unamonte, it allows you to feel great all day. There's no crash. There's no addictiveness on this. I started this 2 weeks ago. I've gained 2 pounds but lost inches. So your pounds are more than likely your muscle on your body is now absorbing nutrients and protein like it's designed to. So that's why I say pounds can kind of throw you off. Make sure you're tracking your body fat percentage if you have a scale, or someone that can measure your body fat percentage. This system allows you to burn fat. And fat loss and weight loss are two different things. I've had people that lost weight and actually have more body fat percentage on their body because a lot of the weight they lost was muscle and water. They didn't actually lose fat. When you go on a lot of fad diets, that's what people lose. They lose a lot of muscle and they lose a lot of water weight on fad diets. I never had sleep apnea, but Coach J, one of the young ladies I met on TikTok, she was dealing with sleep apnea, and she's not dealing with it now since she's been using the system. And it's another gentleman, I can't remember his name, Jason. I think his name was Jason. He was dealing with sleep apnea. Now, do your studies, and that's the thing you have to find out on your own. You'll see a lot of these things like sleep apnea is linked to insulin resistance. When you look up insulin resistance, you will see majority of what they call chronic illnesses that people are dealing with. All those individuals are dealing with insulin resistance. Get rid of the insulin resistance in the body, you'll see a lot of those chronic illnesses go away. Now, public platform, can't make any medical claims, can't make any guarantee, but do your homework on insulin resistance and see how that is linked to a lot of chronic illnesses that people are dealing with. So that's why I got started on this for weight loss. I didn't know the science behind this and how it was really helping with insulin resistance. It's been like in the last few months, like, whoa, this thing is way beyond just losing weight, because that's what I got started on for, was losing weight. It's way beyond weight loss. Weight loss is like the positive side effect of getting rid of the insulin resistance. But when you get rid of insulin resistance, these are the things that start to happen. Your glucose start to get in check. If you got high blood pressure, cholesterol, PCOS, fatty liver, all these things start to line up. On the system, 15 weeks, A1C 7.3 down to 6.3, lost 22 pounds. Intermittent fast, 16 to 18 hours. Yeah, there you go. Fasting glucose went from 94 to 10. That's the system. So this is what you drink in the fasting window. So now let's talk about time to eat. I think I saw in one of the comments a gentleman say one of the problem is fiber is missing. Yes. If you look up, you can go to the CDC and it'll give you the recommended amount of fiber that a person needs in their body for it to function properly. And you can see almost every human being are getting nowhere close to that. And a lot of the fruits and the vegetables that once used to be high in fiber, the percentage of fiber now are way lower in those quantities of the same fruits and vegetables. So now balance, yes, it's a great source of fiber, but it's not just fiber. That's one thing that it does. That's one. And it has 8 different strands of fiber. And these 8 different strands are going to balance out your gut health. Because a lot of problems we're dealing with gut health issues also. So it's going to balance out that gut health. Also, inside of the balance, you have your vitamin complex. So this is a phenomenal multivitamin, all in one pack. And the Unimonte is loaded with your minerals. So these together is a phenomenal multivitamin, multi-mineral, all in one. That's just one thing. Also, you have a heart complex. So they put together a cardio complex. So it has great nutrition in here for your heart benefit. That's why you see so many people getting results with anything associated with the heart, which is very, very, very key. Now, when you drink this balance, it also has what's called a 7X technology. So what this does, it expands on the inside of your stomach. And that's why you wait 5 to 10 minutes before eating your regular food. Once it expands, you'll notice you go to eat, you're like, man, I almost feel a little bit full before you start eating your food. So that's why it keeps you satisfied with your meals and it keeps you from overeating. So when you first get started on the system, your first 90 days, we say don't change what you used to eat. That doesn't mean go out here and eat crazy food that you haven't been eating in the last 90 days. If you used to eat a foot-long sandwich normally for the last 90 days for lunch, still order that. You'll notice you won't be able to eat but about a half of that sandwich. That's the system working. We want you to know for sure in 90 days the system is doing the work. Now, after that, we do, obviously, long-term results. You want to make better food choices, but this balance gives you food freedom. So when you do eat foods that are a little bit high in carbohydrates, this is going to keep you satisfied, and you're not going to overeat on a lot of those carbs, which is going to be key. Now, the thing that separates the system and really made me say, okay, let me give this a major try, is the documentation that's behind the system. They have dedicated in-house scientists. They have done clinical studies, double-blind, placebo clinical studies at UNLV, Sydney University. It's the #1 heart hospital in America, Cleveland Hospital, #1 heart hospital. They've done studies there, and it all shows the same results. It's documented in the PDR, that is the reference book that, or the online reference that medical doctors use when they look up a prescription drug to see what it's good for and what all the side effects are. And we're one of the only companies that has 18 natural products in there. So that's the reason why I've been able to transform my health now over the last couple of months and totally change my body and my lifestyle. And so if you have any questions, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and I'll be glad to answer them at this time. Some of the typical questions I hear is, are there any side effects? No, there are no side effects. They're 2 food-based products, so it's 100% safe. Other questions I get asked all the time is how long before you start to see results. That depends upon your body and where you're looking for results in. Results of energy, you generally notice that within your first couple of days. Results with like mental clarity, brain fog, anything tied to depression or anxiety, you notice that within your first week. Weight on the scale is going to be determined by a person's lifestyle, what they're eating, and their personal metabolism and their exercise regimen. Obviously, a person sitting down in an office all day, eating high carb diet, their results on weight loss is not going to be as fast as a person that has maybe been eating somewhat clean and they got a little bit more of an active lifestyle. So that's determined on you, the individual. Now, what they do is give you a 90-day happiness guarantee based on blood work. So in 90 days, if you don't see changes in your glucose, in your cholesterol, in your triglyceride levels, in your A1C, you can get all your money back, no questions asked. That's a blood work guaranteed on the system. The next question I get is, how much is it? What I like to talk about first is how much money this system has saved me. My first month on the system, I stopped drinking energy drinks. I was drinking sometimes 2 to 3 energy drinks a day. That's easily $10 a day. I stopped eating a lot of snacks, potato chips, Little Debbie snacks, and things like that. That's easily another $5 a day. I didn't need to take this big package of multivitamin that I'll spend about $100 a month on. So my first month on the system, I saved $300 between my vitamins and minerals that I was paying for, all my snacks and all my energy drinks I was buying, and that extra meal a day that I didn't need anymore. And I only invested $5 a day into my health. So the system is roughly $5 a day. You're going to get 3 packets, $1.90 per packet, $5 a day. Now, when you go to the link above my head, and you can go there right now, you have 2 options. Option 1, you'll have to subscribe and save. I highly recommend, if you're going to try the system, do the subscribe and save, because you want to use it for a minimum of 90 days. That's where they give you the health guarantee. With the subscribe and save, you're going to get a free gift this month called Bone Fortified. You're also going to get free shipping and handling, and you'll get the lowest price